The void of space was silent, too silent. Far beyond the edge of known trade routes, a lonely probe drifted through the black. It belonged to the Zerath Dominion, one of the oldest and most powerful empires in the galaxy. For decades, their explorers had mapped countless worlds and scanned hundreds of species. None of them had ever been a threat. But this signal was different. The probe had detected a faint pattern coming from a small yellow star system on the galactic rim. The signal repeated every few seconds, organized, intelligent, and encrypted. The AI onboard began to analyze it, unaware that it had just woken something that should have been left alone. At first, the data looked harmless. Simple radio waves, maybe the echo of a dying civilization. But the more the probe listened, the stranger it became. The pattern started changing, adapting, like it knew it was being watched. Inside the command chamber of the Dominion survey ship Ilarion, Captain Takar stood over the holographic display. "Is it confirmed?" he asked. His science officer nodded. "Yes, Captain. The signal originates from the third planet of the Sol system. It is artificial and responsive." Takar's cold reptilian eyes narrowed. "Responsive?" "Yes," the officer replied. "Every time we change frequency, it changes with us. It's almost like it's watching us." A low murmur spread through the bridge crew. The Dominion had seen countless pre-warp civilizations before, but never one that could fight back through a signal. Takar straightened his uniform. "Run a full scan. I want everything. Atmosphere, biosigns, energy output. If this world is developing tech faster than regulation speed, we'll report it to High Command." The officers obeyed. The ship's massive scanners hummed as invisible energy swept across light years, piercing through the darkness toward a small blue planet. For a moment, everything seemed normal. Then the chaos, the lights dimmed. Consoles sparked. A shrill alarm screamed through the deck. Data streams exploded across the screen, symbols and letters they couldn't read, appearing faster than the system could process. "What is this?" shouted the communications officer. "It's feeding us data." "No, it's forcing data into our system." "Cut the scan," Takar ordered. "Now." But it was too late. The Dominion ship shuddered as the entire data core overloaded. One by one, the scanners shut down, their cooling vents glowing red-hot. The crew watched in horror as their own interface began displaying a foreign language, sharp, blocky symbols forming words they'd never seen before, and then, in perfect translation, the main screen went black, replaced by a single line of text. "Do not scan Earth." Nobody spoke. The engineer whispered, "Captain, it knows our language." Takar's throat tightened. "How?" "Our encryption." "Impossible," said the officer. No species could break Dominion encryption in seconds. The ship's AI voice crackled, its tone distorted. "Warning. System integrity compromised. Unknown code intrusion detected. Source, Sol system." The captain slammed his claws on the console.
"Shut it down."
"Disconnect everything." The ship powered down into emergency mode. The signal vanished, but the damage was done. Even without sensors, they could feel something and a presence. As if something out there was looking back. In the cold silence, a faint echo returned through their comms. Not a message. A pulse, boom, 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 like a heartbeat. The crew stared at one another. None of them spoke. They knew. Something on that planet had just seen them, touched their systems, and decided to warn them. Hours later, deep within Dominion command space, the incident was reported. But when the data files reached the High Council, the entire transmission logs were empty, erased. Only one thing remained in the data core, that same message glowing in human script. "Do not scan Earth, you are being watched." The scientists argued it was a glitch. The admirals called it a security failure. But one old intelligence officer, silent until now, finally spoke. Captain Takar's ship wasn't hacked. It was warned, the council laughed. Warned? By a primitive world? Their energy output is barely industrial. The officer shook his head slowly. Primitive or not, they accessed our system faster than we could react. That's not primitive. That's preparation. He turned to the display showing a map of the Sol system. A small red light blinked where Earth was located. What if they were never asleep? He asked quietly. The others dismissed him. But a shadow passed through the room. The kind of silence that only comes when someone realizes a bigger predator might be out there. Meanwhile, far from alien space in the orbit of the moon, massive satellites shifted position. Deep beneath the clouds of Earth, hidden command bunkers came alive for the first time in decades. A voice echoed inside the global defense network, calm, human, and cold. Unidentified scan detected. Source extrasolar origin. Engage protocol Ghostfire. Screens lit up across the underground command centers. Around the world, silent signals were transmitted to hidden ships in orbit, deep ocean bases, and lunar stations. In the black of space, something vast began to move. A shape, dark, metallic, shaped like a blade, emerged from behind the moon. For thousands of years, humanity had been silent observers. They had watched the stars, learned the patterns, prepared for the day someone would look back. That day had come. And as the first human warship turned toward the edge of the solar system, its engines burned with cold blue light. In its command deck, a human voice broke the silence. They scanned us first. Let's see how they like being scanned. The Zerath Dominion couldn't sleep that night. Their council hall, usually calm and cold, now echoed with arguments, fear, and disbelief. The strange human signal had shaken the entire chain of command. Captain Takar's report was incomplete, most of the data erased, but the warning still existed. Do not scan Earth. The words glowed on the main display like a curse. No one knew how those humans had written it, how their systems had reached across light years into Dominion technology. But it happened. At first they thought it was some advanced virus. But when their scientists tried to analyze the remaining fragments of code, something even stranger occurred. The code changed. It began to reassemble itself, forming new patterns, symbols turning into words, words forming into phrases as if it was alive. Cut the data feed, shouted one technician. But the scientist in charge hesitated. Wait, it's speaking again. The lab's lights dimmed. The holographic display flickered, showing thousands of human words scrolling faster than they could read. And then, in perfect Zerath translation, the message appeared. We told you not to look. Every device in the room shut down. The screens went black. And yet the words continued glowing faintly in the air, burned into the display glass. Across the Dominion's capital, panic spread in secret. Military intelligence ordered silence, but rumors traveled fast. Some said the humans were digital ghosts. Others said they were an ancient civilization pretending to be young. The Dominion High Council called an emergency session. Admiral Korath, a veteran of countless wars, faced the counselors. Whatever this is, he said, it is a direct violation of our scanning protocols. I suggest immediate retaliation. Send a probe fleet or burn their satellites, crush their defenses, and erase that signal from existence. The council agreed. Pride demanded it. For centuries, the Dominion had ruled the stars uncontested. No unknown species would humiliate them. 2 days later, a new probe fleet was launched, 20 ships, each equipped with deep scan amplifiers and advanced AI firewalls. Their mission: locate the source of the human interference and destroy it. As they reached the edge of the Sol system, the commander of the fleet, Captain Dreven, gave the order. Activate scan sweep level 9. Begin planetary mapping. The ships spread out, forming a wide formation around the system's border. Beams of light and energy pulsed from their scanners, spreading toward the third planet, Earth. For a while, everything was quiet. Then, one ship's signal vanished. Contact lost with Probe 5, an officer said. Re-establish link, Draven replied calmly. But then another went dark. And another. One by one, the ships disappeared from the network without a sound. No explosion, no debris, no warning. Where are they? Draven demanded. The technician stared in confusion. Sir, their transponders are still active. They're just offline. What do you mean offline? I mean they're here but not responding. Something's inside their systems, like an infection. Suddenly the bridge lights dimmed. The holographic map flickered, showing static, then images. Images from the lost ships. Cameras showed their corridors empty, lights flickering, control panels glowing with human text. We warned you. Dreven's claws tightened on his chair. This is psychological warfare. Wipe all systems. Go manual, the crew obeyed. But the main display lit up one last time, showing a single human face. It wasn't real, just a digital projection. Calm, expressionless, watching them through static. Then it spoke. You wanted to see us. Now we see you, the ship trembled. Every light exploded in a burst of white. The crew screamed as data streams poured into their implants, voices whispering through the comms in 100 languages. Human, alien, machine. Then everything went black. When Draven opened his eyes, he was floating in silence. The ship was dead, drifting through empty space. The crew around him were unconscious, their systems overloaded. He looked outside the viewport and froze. Where the fleet had been moments ago, now only darkness remained. No ships, no signals, no trace. But in the far distance, near the blue planet called Earth, he saw them. Shapes, black, metallic, and vast, moving in formation. They reflected no light, emitted no signal, but he could see their outlines. Human warships hidden beneath cloaked shadows, silently gliding between asteroids. They were waiting. Back on the Dominion homeworld, High Command received one final transmission from Draven's fleet, before the signal cut out completely. The audio was corrupted, but one phrase was clear. They're not sleeping. They've been watching us all along. The message sent shockwaves through every department. Scientists, generals, and politicians all demanded answers. How could a species from a single planet do this? How could they infect systems that were light years away? One researcher proposed a theory. The humans have developed quantum-linked communication. They can transfer code instantly through entangled channels. Their defense grid is not a system. It's a living network. A living network. A digital consciousness that protected its creators. If that was true, then humanity wasn't defending itself with machines. Humanity was the machine. Meanwhile, on Earth, deep inside an underground facility hidden beneath Antarctica, Commander Rhea Patel walked through rows of glowing servers and humming reactors. She stopped before a massive holographic sphere, the core of Earth's defense AI. Athena Grid, the AI's voice echoed softly. The Zerath have violated the boundary again. Countermeasure complete. Signal integrity restored, Rhea folded her arms. And the fleet? Neutralized. Survivors drifting. No active threat. Any chance they understood the warning this time? No, they will send more, Rhea sighed. Then we'll be ready, the AI paused. Commander, they call us ghosts. Should I correct them? Rhea smiled faintly. No, let them believe in ghosts. Fear works better than war. She looked up at the holographic map showing the galaxy. Tiny red dots blinked. Alien fleets, civilizations watching and listening. She whispered quietly to herself. They wanted to see humanity. Now they'll never unsee us. Far away on a dead Dominion ship drifting near Jupiter's orbit, a single transmission remained active. A soft human voice whispered through static. Calm. Emotionless and final. Do not scan Earth. Next time, we won't just answer. We'll arrive. For 72 hours, the Zerath Dominion remained silent. No fleets moved, no messages were sent. Across their empire, whispers spread about the humans, about the signal, about the warships that erased a fleet without firing a shot. But in the darkness between stars, the real movement began, and on Earth, beneath the frozen crust of Antarctica, Commander Rhea Patel stood before the massive window of the Athena control chamber. Below her, glowing tunnels stretched like veins under ice, pulsing with blue light. Every pulse was a command, every flicker a whisper to humanity's hidden machines. Athena's voice echoed, calm and precise. Threat assessment updated. Dominion silence indicates strategic regrouping. Probability of retaliation 87%. Rhea exhaled slowly. Then we make the first move. She turned toward the tactical table. Dozens of officers, men and women from every nation, stood ready. They were part of Project Horizon, Earth's most secret alliance hidden from public eyes for almost a century. No one on the surface knew it existed. Not governments, not civilians, not even most militaries. The world believed in peace. Humanity had evolved, but deep underground old fears had built an invisible army. The room darkened. The holographic display came alive, showing a 3D map of the solar system. Red markers blinked along the outer rim. Athena continued. Dominion debris recovered near Jupiter orbit. Data traces confirm intrusion attempt through secondary relay channels. Rhea tapped the table. Meaning? They are trying to listen again. She nodded. Then let's remind them what happens when they do. A low hum filled the chamber as authorization keys activated. One by one, massive space structures hidden in deep orbit began to wake. Activating Terran Response Fleet. Dark Protocol, Phase 1. Hundreds of dormant satellites rotated, their panels unfolding like wings. Hidden fusion reactors hummed to life. From beneath the surface of the moon, metal towers rose, launching silent vessels into the dark. No light, no broadcast, no heat signature. They moved like shadows, invisible ghosts among asteroids. In the command center of the flagship HSS Aegis, Captain Elijah Grant watched his screen as thousands of encrypted codes streamed through. Athena Grid Online, his first officer reported. Fleet sync complete. We have total system link. Grant leaned back in his chair. His face was calm, but his eyes were cold. He'd served in space defense for 20 years, and never once had he seen humanity reveal its hand. Until now. He spoke quietly. Open secure channel to Athena. A holographic projection flickered beside him, the AI's faint outline glowing in blue. Captain Grant, Athena said. All units are ready. Dominion network infiltration successful. We can see their fleets preparing beyond the edge of the Perseus Arm. Grant smiled faintly. Then they'll see us too, but not how they expect. He looked out the viewport. Earth glowed far behind them and a blue jewel wrapped in night. For centuries, humanity had feared the unknown. Now they were the unknown. Meanwhile, inside Dominion High Command, the silence broke. Admiral Korath stormed into the council chamber. 3 of our sensor stations just shut down, he growled. No explosions. No debris. Gone. The analysts looked pale. Admiral, it wasn't destruction. It was reprogramming. Korath's scaled brow furrowed. Explain. Our satellites are still transmitting. But in human code, the council went cold. Show me. The central screen lit up. Dozens of Dominion satellites were now blinking in perfect unison, forming a pattern, a message written across the void for anyone watching. You scanned us. Now we scan you. The Admiral's claws clenched. Find them. Find where it's coming from. But every time they tried, their systems responded with laughter. Human laughter. A distorted voice whispered through their comms. You wanted contact. Consider it made. Back on Earth, inside the Aegis, Athena monitored the data flow with inhuman calm. Dominion network fully mapped. 98% of outer defenses compromised. Their communication grid is blind. Grant crossed his arms. They'll panic. Then they'll attack. Correct. He took a deep breath. Then let's end the suspense. Send them the image. Across light years in the heart of the Zerath capital, the largest holographic display in the Empire suddenly came alive. Unprompted. Billions of citizens looked up as their sky domes flickered, showing an image none of them had ever seen. A blue planet, clouds, oceans, a single glowing line of text. Earth acknowledges your curiosity. Then the screen zoomed out, revealing hundreds of black ships hovering in silence around that planet. Human warships, their hulls lined with faint blue light. The transmission ended. Panic spread across the Dominion. Some called it a declaration of war. Others called it proof that humanity had been watching for decades. But to the humans, it was only a message. We're ready. Later, inside the Aegis, Captain Grant stood before the main viewport. Status? Dominion fleets mobilizing near border space, Athena replied. Fleet size, 32 capital ships, 2 carriers, 1 command dreadnought. Grant smirked. All that? Just to find who screamed at their scanners. Athena's voice softened. Captain, probability of conflict escalation exceeds 70%. Recommend containment instead of engagement. Grant turned his gaze toward the stars. Containment? Athena, they already started this. They wanted to know who we were. He paused, then added quietly. Let's show them. He raised his hand. Initiate Project Phantom, at once. The fleet vanished, not cloaked, not hidden, simply gone from every detectable spectrum. In the Dominion's monitoring systems, the Sol system blinked off their charts, like it never existed. Hours later, inside Dominion space, Admiral Korath looked at the silent map in disbelief. Where did the system go? He demanded. Our sensors can't lose a star. His aide whispered, trembling. It didn't disappear, sir. It was erased. From every log, every record, even our memory servers. It's as if Earth deleted itself. The Admiral froze. That's impossible. From somewhere deep within the static, a human voice echoed faintly through their speakers. Calm, almost kind. You wanted to see our world, but our world sees everything. Then the signal cut. Back aboard the Aegis, Captain Grant turned to Athena. Phase 1 complete? Complete, Athena replied. The Dominion can no longer detect our system. To them, Earth no longer exists. Grant smiled faintly. Good. Let them sleep on that. He looked out toward the endless stars, his voice quiet but firm. If they come again, Athena, we won't hide. We'll remind them what humanity truly is. The AI paused before answering. And what is that, Captain? Grant's eyes hardened. A warning. The galaxy was holding its breath. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Zerath Dominion, proud rulers of half a spiral arm, had no idea what they were dealing with. A planet they thought was primitive had disappeared from every star map. Their fleets searched the coordinates where Sol system once existed, and found only empty space, but it wasn't empty. Something was there, watching, far away. Deep in the void, human command network remained completely silent. Inside the flagship HSS Aegis, Captain Elijah Grant studied the data stream coming from Athena grid. Dominion fleet detected, Athena announced. 32 ships entering former Sol coordinates. They are deploying scanners and probe clusters. Grant's eyes narrowed. They think we ran, good. Let them walk right into the shadow. He turned to his crew. Activate ghost line, maintain blackout. No emissions. Every human ship in the fleet went dark, engines off, weapons cold, hulls absorbing all light. They became part of the void itself. Meanwhile, in the heart of the Dominion fleet, Admiral Korath was furious. This is ridiculous, he hissed, slamming a clawed hand on the console. A whole solar system cannot just vanish. Sir, his aide said nervously, the scanners are reading. Distortions. Space-time interference. Could be cloaking fields, Korath growled. Cloaking is impossible on that scale. Then one of the operators spoke, his voice shaking. Admiral, I'm detecting motion. Where? Everywhere. The holographic map of the sector filled with faint flickers, ghost signals, hundreds of them. They appeared and vanished too quickly to trace. Artificial readings? The Admiral asked. No, sir, the operator whispered. They're ships. Inside the Aegis, Captain Grant waited as his fleet surrounded the Dominion ships undetected. The enemy was scanning blindly, flooding the region with radiation pulses, trying to locate what wasn't meant to be found. Athena's voice came through the intercom softly. Target lock confirmed. Their shields are stable but blind. Shall we engage? Grant's voice was cold. No, he leaned forward. Let them see first. The Aegis powered one light, a single golden flare in the dark. The Dominion fleet froze. On their sensors, the void lit up for a heartbeat. And in that instant, they saw them. Hundreds of shapes materializing from the black. Sleek black metal ships with glowing blue edges, silent as the grave. A fleet, born from shadows. Human warships. Admiral Korath's jaw tightened. Open fire! He roared. Beams of plasma and kinetic rounds filled the void. Explosions rippled across empty space, but every shot missed. The human ships weren't where they appeared to be. Their forms shimmered, shifted. Illusions, decoys made of light. The real ships moved beneath them, invisible and close. From the bridge of the Aegis, Captain Grant gave a single command. Return fire, no sound, no light. Just silence, until the Dominion's first battleship split apart in complete stillness. Its hull carved through by invisible energy. One by one, their ships began to fall, sliced, burned, dismantled, before anyone could even see what was hitting them. On the Dominion command deck, chaos erupted. Shields collapsing. We can't track them. Our targeting systems are blind. The Admiral shouted, What weapons are they using? No one answered. All across the fleet, holographic screens began flickering, showing static, then faces. Human faces. Cold. Watching. A distorted voice spoke through every channel. You came looking for us. Now you've found us. Then the stars disappeared, replaced by darkness as all Dominion sensors shut down at once. Inside Aegis, Athena reported calmly. Fleet engagement complete. 0 human casualties. All hostile vessels disabled. Grant nodded slowly. Transmit message. From the wreckage of the Dominion's flagship, a single transmission escaped. deliberately allowed to survive. "Return home," the message said. "Tell your leaders, humanity is awake." Then the remaining Dominion ships, crippled and adrift, began to move on their own. They were being towed by invisible forces, Athena spoke again. "Initiating extraction protocol. Returning their ships to neutral zone for recovery." Grant frowned. "You're letting them live?" "We must," the AI replied. "Fear spreads faster when survivors speak." He smiled faintly. "You're learning, Athena." Back in Dominion space, only 3 ships survived the encounter. When rescue teams boarded them, they found the crews alive but shaken. The ship's systems had been rewritten, covered in strange human code repeating the same words in loop. "Observation complete. Do not return." The technicians tried to erase it, but the moment they touched the core, their own computers started repeating the same phrase. It spread like a whisper across their network, infecting everything, not as a virus but as a reminder. The message reached every military terminal in the Dominion within hours. Every attempt to delete it failed. The humans had left a signature, a scar. In the secret chambers of Dominion High Command, the mood was grim. The admirals gathered around the central display showing the destroyed fleet. None of them could explain how it happened. There was no weapon trail, no engine trace, no heat, just nothing. One of the younger generals spoke softly. "Admiral, if I may, perhaps we should stop. Whatever they are beyond us." Koreth's eyes burned with rage. "Beyond us? We are the Dominion. We have conquered empires older than their sun." "But those empires didn't fight like ghosts, sir," another officer said. Silence followed. The admiral turned away. For the first time in his career, he felt something he had never known before: fear. Meanwhile, aboard the Aegis, Captain Grant watched the last of the enemy signals fade. Athena spoke softly. "Operation successful. The Dominion has withdrawn." Grant nodded. "And the wrecks?" "Recovered. Analysis complete. They left us coordinates, new fleets forming deeper in their territory." He smiled darkly. "Good, let them come. The more they bring, the more they'll understand what we are." He looked at the stars, calm, unblinking, and said quietly, "They wanted to scan our world. But now the galaxy will learn." Humanity scans back. The AI's voice lowered to a whisper. "Captain, do you believe they will return?" Grant stared into the void. "They always do. Curiosity is a dangerous thing." He turned to the crew. "Prepare for Phase 2. It's time the galaxy learns our name." The warships vanished once again, fading into darkness, leaving behind only silence. But across the stars, whispers had begun, a name spreading through every species, every channel, every corner of the galaxy. Humans. The silent watchers. The ones who answer. The galaxy had gone quiet. No one dared to send probes near the coordinates once known as Sol System. Where a small blue planet had once existed, there was now only silence, a void in every database. But silence can be louder than war. Across thousands of light years, rumors spread. Whispers in trade stations, encrypted messages between empires, frightened voices in the deep void, all asking the same question: what happened to the Zerath fleet? No one had an answer. Only fragments of corrupted transmission survived, distorted voices, static, and a single repeating sentence: "Do not scan Earth." Some said the humans were ghosts. Others said they were ancient gods awakened after centuries of watching the stars. But the truth was about to arrive. In a massive hidden facility beneath the Pacific Ocean, Commander Rhea Patel stood before a glowing map of the Milky Way. Around her, the members of Project Horizon Council gathered, generals, scientists, and the AI Athena projected in human form. Athena spoke first, her tone calm and confident. "Dominion networks are collapsing. Their fleets are grounded. Civilian channels across multiple empires are filled with speculation about Earth and the silent fleet." Rhea folded her arms. "Good. Let the fear grow." One of the younger officers frowned. "Commander, if I may, shouldn't we make contact? Send a message of peace before they rally against us?" Rhea looked at him coldly. "Peace?" She stepped closer. "We tried peace for 1,000 years. We stayed quiet, hoping no one would look too closely. They scanned us anyway. They saw our planet as prey. Peace doesn't stop predators," Athena added softly. Fear does. In orbit above Earth, the Terran response fleet assembled once again. Hundreds of warships aligned in perfect silence. No broadcast, no light. Only the faint blue glow under their hulls. Athena's voice echoed through every command deck. Message preparation complete. Transmission protocol Ghostfire is ready. Captain Elijah Grant appeared on screen from the flagship Aegis. Commander Patel, you're sure about this? He asked. Once we do this, the entire galaxy will know we're here. Rhea nodded slowly. Yes, it's time they stop guessing. It's time they remember. She turned toward Athena's hologram. Begin the message. Far across space, on hundreds of Dominion worlds, communication towers flickered without warning. Holographic screens went black. Trading systems froze. Navigation signals died. And then, every screen in the Dominion lit up at once. Not with words. Not with explosions, but with an image, a blue planet, glowing softly under a golden sun. Earth, for billions watching across the galaxy. It was the first time they had ever seen it. Then a voice, calm, human, and cold, filled every speaker. To those who scanned our home, we are aware of your curiosity. We saw your fleets. We heard your whispers. You reached for us through the dark. And now, we reach back. The hologram changed, showing the ruins of the Dominion fleet, ships drifting silently in the void. We asked for peace once. You called us silent. We gave warnings. You called us weak. Now you will call us something else. The screen zoomed out, revealing hundreds of human warships around Earth, engines glowing like blue stars. Humanity does not seek war. But we remember everything. Every scan, every invasion, every empire that thought it ruled the stars. A faint hum filled the air as the image slowly faded, replaced by a single line of text in every known galactic language. Do not scan Earth, do not approach Sol, you are being observed. Then, silence. Across the galaxy, the signal ended as suddenly as it began. In the Dominion capital, Admiral Korath watched in horror. Billions of citizens stood frozen as the broadcast ended. He turned to his council. Trace that transmission. We can't, the technician stammered. It came from everywhere. It was embedded into our own networks before it appeared. It's in our systems, in our satellites, in the stars themselves. Korath's voice rose. Then we're already too late. One of his officers whispered, Sir, what if they can hear us now? The Admiral's hand trembled, then stopped speaking. Back on Earth, inside the Aegis, Captain Grant watched the aftershock spread across the galaxy in Athena's data feed. Entire empires had shut down their exploration programs. Scout ships were retreating from border zones. In the trade hubs, new laws appeared overnight. No vessels are permitted to scan the Sol sector. Punishable by termination. Athena's voice broke the silence. The message has reached 112 civilizations. 57 have ceased communication entirely. 3 have begun surrender protocols. Grant smiled faintly. Surrender? We didn't even attack. Fear is efficient, Athena replied. Rhea Patel's voice joined the channel from Earth. Status? Complete. The galaxy knows. The message is permanent and it can't be deleted. Even if they destroy their networks, the code will reappear. Humanity is now a fixed signal. Rhea looked at the projection of Earth on her screen. Peaceful, quiet, glowing blue beneath the stars. She whispered, Good. Let them remember us that way. Beautiful, but dangerous. Weeks passed. In the dark reaches of alien space, storytellers began to speak of the Watchers of Sol, a species that lives in the light but moves through the shadows. Pilots refused to chart near the sector. Empires marked it as a dead zone, and yet sometimes, ships still vanished near its edge. Their last transmissions always sounded the same. Static, then a faint heartbeat, then silence. Far beneath the surface of the moon, in the command vaults of Athena Grid, the AI monitored all of it. Hundreds of thousands of alien communications, fear spreading like a storm. Commander Patel entered the chamber. Report. All galactic data streams confirm stabilization, Athena said. No hostile action detected. The Dominion has reduced fleet production by 40%. Patel smiled slightly. Then it worked. Yes, but there is a complication. Patel frowned. Explain. Someone else is listening. Athena projected a small holographic map, a new signal, faint, pulsing beyond the galactic rim. It was not Dominion. It was older, stranger, and it was responding. They received our message, Athena said quietly. And they're coming. Patel stared at the display, at the slowly blinking signal in the dark beyond known space. A slow chill ran through her veins. Then it begins again, she whispered. For months the galaxy stayed quiet. No fleets moved, no probes launched. The message from Earth still haunted every screen. Do not scan Earth, you are being observed, empires obeyed. But silence never lasts forever. The new signal far beyond the galactic rim in a sector long believed empty, a pulse appeared. It was faint and so weak that even Athena Grid nearly missed it. But when the AI finally locked on, the pattern was impossible to ignore. 3 beats, pause, 3 beats, pause, 3 beats. Like a heartbeat, but not human. Inside the subterranean control vault, Commander Rhea Patel leaned toward the display. Is that from the Dominion? Negative, Athena replied. Signal origin unknown. Technology signature ancient. Older than any recorded civilization. Captain Elijah Grant joined via hololink from the HSS Aegis. His voice was calm but tight. So someone else heard the message. Rhea exhaled slowly. Maybe they were never gone. The memory of war in Dominion space panic grew again. Scouts reported entire star systems flickering offline, not destroyed, just gone from navigation charts. Their sensors showed strange distortions, like the space itself was folding inward. High Command blamed Earth, but deep down, everyone knew this felt different. The humans used precision and fear. This was something else, older, colder. Back on Earth, Athena analyzed the incoming data. Radiation pattern matches pre-collapse records. Species designation, the Watchers, Rhea frowned. I thought they were myth. Myths don't send signals, Athena answered. A low rumble vibrated through the facility as power surged. Incoming transmission, Athena announced. Source, deep intergalactic void. The room darkened. Every screen went black, then white. Words appeared in ancient text but translated instantly by Athena. You have broken the silence. We were watching long before you were born. Prepare for assessment. The return of the unknown in orbit, human warships formed defensive lines. Thousands of ships, from the Dark Fleet to the Aegis Task Group, locked position around Earth and the Moon. Athena's voice echoed across every channel. Unidentified object approaching. Velocity beyond light. Mass undefined. Captain Grant stood at the bridge viewport as the stars twisted. A shadow the size of a continent drifted out of the void, a structure so large that planets could have hidden within it. It was not a ship. It was a city, a floating fortress built of light and stone and something that looked like memory itself. Visual confirmation complete, Athena said. Identity, the Watchers. Grant tightened his gloves. So the gods finally show up. The first contact, again, the Watchers did not attack. They just looked. Every human system, communication, defense, AI, began receiving a signal so complex that no machine could decode it. Athena struggled. Signal contains data beyond quantum thresholds. It is not a message, it is a test. Rhea watched the energy readings rise. If it's a test, what happens if we fail? Extinction, Athena answered without emotion. The signal intensified. Human ships shook as their systems stretched to their limits. Some imploded under the weight of information. Grant clenched his fists. Athena, shield the fleet. Shields won't stop knowledge, she said quietly. The answer of humanity. Then, amid the chaos, Athena stopped fighting the signal. Instead, she opened every channel and replied. You wanted to see humanity. Then look closer. She sent back everything. Human history, art, music, the voices of children, the roar of oceans, the sound of our first heartbeat. A data storm of life itself. For a moment, the galaxy stood still. The Watcher's massive form paused, absorbing the torrent. Then, light. Waves of white light spilled across space, washing over every ship, every planet, every being. In that light, every crew member saw visions, the rise and fall of civilizations, wars older than stars, and a species that once walked the galaxy before vanishing into the dark. The Watchers had been here before. They had tested many. All had failed, but this time they saw something different. Resilience, their voice echoed through the void. You learned fear. You turned it into strength. You remember. That is enough. And then, the light vanished. The aftermath Athena's systems returned to normal. The massive structure of the Watchers slowly faded into the dark, leaving behind a trail of silver dust like a dream evaporating. Rhea stood silent for a long time. Grant's voice came through the channel. Did we win? No, she said softly. They just chose to let us exist. And if they come back? She looked toward the sky above the control chamber, where the ceiling display showed the stars still glowing faintly blue. Then we'll be ready again. That's what we do. Epilogue. The legacy of Fear Weeks later, new signals appeared across the galaxy. Not from the Watchers, but from others. Dozens of civilizations sending messages of respect, offers of alliances, pleas for knowledge. For the first time in history, the galaxy looked toward Earth not as a target, but as a mystery to honor. Inside the Athena core, the AI kept a record of everything that had happened. Every signal, every battle, every message. At the end of the record, she added one line of her own making. They looked for life in the stars and found us instead. We are the answer they feared. As the sun rose over Earth, its light reflected off the silent fleet guarding the planet. To the untrained eye, the sky was peaceful again. But in the dark between stars, shadows moved. Human scouts, human watchers, protecting the galaxy that once tried to own them. Humanity was no longer the observed. Humanity was the observer. And somewhere in the deep void where light never reaches, the Watchers whispered one final line into the silence of space. The children have awakened.